Hey friends, welcome to all the new faces and welcome back to all the old faces. I am so happy you guys stopped by. My name is Melissa. I am pregnant mama of 2 and I love to do all things crafty on a budget, especially Dollar Tree decor, farmhouse decor, trash to treasures, signs, and so much more. So if that's something you're interested in, I would love it if you would stick around by clicking the red subscribe button and then tap the bell and all to be notified every single time I upload. Don't forget to leave this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it and share it with your family and friends if you think they would enjoy it. So with all that being said, let's jump right into today's DIYs.
I want to be daring, baby, dance the night away. I let my head down if I want.
I start off by just prepping each piece. So for this one, I am actually going to cut these in two. So you only need 2 signs for this project. And I take the sticker off of the one and then cut the handle off of both of them. Now for the longer sign, I had this since Valentine's Day. And I have seen long signs out, you know, for different seasons. So definitely just keep your eye out, or you may have one in your stash. And then the one with the lemonade pictures on it, that one I got this season. It's for the summer season, and it's kind of like a luau sign or something like that. But anyway, I just start by laying out my pictures and I make a mark where I want to cut them, because for these projects you only need this one to do 2 projects, if that makes sense. So I just mark it where I want to cut it, and then I take my ruler and run my sharp utility knife across it a few times. I then just bend it, flip it over, and then just cut that paper piece, because that's essentially the only piece left that is holding it together. I then just do that same exact thing to cut the holes off of the top of this. I probably could have left it because we're going to cover that up anyway, but no harm, no foul. It's up to you whether you want to leave this part on or not, but I did decide to go ahead and cut it. And like I said before, you guys, it's really easy to cut these signs because they're really just like thick cardboard. I don't even know how to explain it, but anyway, after I have them cut, I take some lightweight spackling from Dollar Tree and a putty knife, and I just cover in the holes on the longer sign. After I have the holes covered, I just take my finger sander. This is linked down below in my Walmart favorites, and I just go ahead and sand off those rough edges where the sticker was, as well as sometimes when you cut these, it does leave kind of like an indent, so you can just sand that off and it comes right off. So I take a buffalo check piece of scrapbook paper from Hobby Lobby, and I wanted the buffalo check to kind of be on an angle, if that makes sense, rather than up and down. So I did just flip it over, position my sign the way that I wanted the buffalo check, and then traced it out and cut it. I then just take a glue stick and I glue the entire back of the buffalo check scrapbook paper, and then I go ahead and attach that to my sign. Now when I use glue sticks, I always set this aside to dry, just because I want it to dry really nicely before I go ahead back and work on it. So while that's drying, I then just go ahead and take some white Waverly chalk paint, and I give the longer sign a nice coat of chalk paint. Now I don't worry too much about it being perfect, and I wasn't too worried about the background showing through, just because we're going to end up distressing this, so it wasn't a big deal to me. So I did just do one thicker coat on that one, and then like I said before, these can have some rough edges, so I did go ahead and sand the rest down. I had thought that I gotten it, but I didn't, so before I painted it, I made sure that it was nice and smooth. I then just do the same exact thing to this one, and this is the bigger of the 2 signs that I cut in half, and I just give that a good coat of Waverly chalk paint as well. Next, I take my graphite paper, and I always kind of indent where the sign is if the graphite paper is too big for the piece, just so that way I can make sure that I'm getting whatever I'm tracing on nice and square, or right in the middle, if that makes sense. And then I just go ahead and take a pencil and I trace over that, and then it will leave the image on the back. The graphite paper is always linked down in my Amazon favorites, so definitely check that out if you need any. I love this graphite paper. I use it for everything. Next, I just trace on fresh lemonade onto the longer sign. Sorry guys, it's late here and this pregnant mama is tired, but I will leave all the information down below, what font I used and what size. So we're going to make a lemon, and I was just going to draw these on, but I knew that I had this Model Magic modeling clay by Crayola, and I knew that I can make a lemon out of it, and I thought that it would look really cool having like a 3D lemon on this sign. So I did just get a ball of it. I rolled it in my hands until it was smooth. I then put it on a paper plate, and I took a the thing the ribbon is in, I don't know what you want to call it, and I did just go ahead and flatten that down. If you have something better to flatten it with, I would do that, because it did stick a little bit, but no big deal. After I have it smoothed down, and I did want to mention that I did smooth the edges, I just took my putty knife and made 8 slices like a pizza. I then take another piece and I just roll it out, not too big and not too small, and then I just attach it around this piece, and that's essentially going to be like the peel. And then I take the end of my pencil, I make a hole in the middle, and then where each slice meets the outside, I did just make kind of like an indent, because if you look at like a picture of a lemon or whatever, there are little indents right there. I then take some white acrylic paint, or actually I lied. We're going to take a toothbrush, and I just wanted the texture, because you know a lemon peel is got that texture on it, so I just took a toothbrush and went around the end, and then I took the white acrylic paint. Now I would definitely recommend to use chalk paint, because I did have to do 2 coats of this, but I'm going to try to explain this as best as I can. But I just start by painting the edge that meets up to essentially the peel, and then I go ahead and paint down the slices right where the crease is, as well as on each side of the crease, so that each piece of the lemon basically has a white perimeter around it. I'm sure I'm not explaining that very good, but I will just let this play so you guys can see what I'm talking about.
I finally stopped running now. With you I found my peace somehow. Let go of every thought that was holding me back. Yeah. I'm in love with you in every way. The joy you give me every day makes me forget that I was troubled before. Don't know if I'm dreaming, I'm slipping away. I hear your sweet voice, then I see your face. I never knew you could love someone like me. You climb my tower.
Okay, so after I finish painting my lemon, I just set that aside to dry a little bit. I then just take this fresh squeezed lemonade, and I did want to mention that I did just search for Farmhouse lemonade. I found the ones that I liked, and then I copy and I pasted those into Word and printed those out. So I take a piece of cardstock, I measure and cut it, and then I just go ahead and trace this onto the cardstock. I then take a yellow paint pen and I go over just the lemons on this cardstock. I did get my paint pens from Amazon, and they are also linked down below. I then just take my yellow paint pen again, and for the lemon farm truck sign, I go ahead and I trace over all the lemons with the yellow and then their leaves with the green paint pen. I then take my black paint pen, and these I get from Walmart. They're a little bit thicker and they come in different point sizes, and those are linked in my Walmart favorites. I then just go ahead over all the rest of the wording and the truck with my black paint pen. I then do the same exact thing on the fresh squeezed lemonade sign. After I have these all traced over, I start working on the bigger sign. So for this one, I did use a fine point black paint pen. Again, I got it from Walmart, and went over all that wording. So I don't know why I didn't get a clip of it, but I did just take my putty knife and I cut this lemon in half, and then I just painted the wherever I cut with white, so when it's on the sign, then it won't look funny, if that makes sense. So I put a border around this fresh lemonade sign because I thought that it was just missing a little something. So I did just freehand this, and I just traced around the edges. I made the corners curved, and then in the top right hand corner I just did a simple little design. So I just wanted to bring you guys a little closer to see the design that I did. Again, it was really easy. I am not a good drawer. I do not trust myself doing my own wording, but something as simple as this was no big deal for me to freehand. If you don't feel comfortable doing it, just print off a design that you like off of Google or your favorite website, and then just print it off and trace it over. I then just went over that with my black paint pen again, and then I took my finger sander, and I wanted this sign to look really old, so I did just go ahead and distress that over all the wording, the edges, and then just some random places. I did go a little bit deeper so that you could see the background showing through. Now, distressing is a personal preference, so you can do this as little or as much as you like. I really usually don't like to pull out the sander. I like to just dry brush to make it look old, but for this particular sign, I did want to go ahead and use my sander. I then just go ahead and take some hot glue. I glue half of the lemon in the right hand corner and then the other half in the left hand corner, and that finishes up this sign. I am so in love with this sign. I think it's my favorite project in this video, but I'm not too sure after the video's done. As usual, let me know in the comments down below which one was your favorite. Next, I just take this fresh squeezed lemonade sign and some Velcro dots from Dollar Tree. I'm doing this because I wanted to have this piece of cardstock raised, if that makes sense, rather than just flush with the background. So I thought that I had some like glue dots, but apparently not. So I just used what I had on hand, and I wanted to show you here that if you guys ever have trouble keeping your ribbon together like I do, I figured this out a while back. I just take a pin and pin it, and it's good to go. I then just made a simple bow out of some lemon ribbon from Dollar Tree, and I glue that to the left hand corner, and then that one was finished. Last but not least, the Lemon Farm sign. I did go ahead and just take my chip brush. These are linked in my Walmart favorites. And then I just dry brushed around the edges. Surprise, surprise. And then I took a piece of buffalo check ribbon, made a simple bow, and I glued that one into the left-hand corner. So that is it for this video, you guys. Please let me know in the comments down below which one was your favorite again, and don't forget to please give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it. I thought that today we could switch it up a little bit and do a little bit of summer decor. I don't go crazy with, the summer decor, but this I thought was appropriate, and it goes really well with all my farmhouse decor. And so I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please let me know if you guys want any more lemon decor videos. I would be happy to do that again. This was really, really fun. I am so glad I did it. I love the way that those clay lemons came out. I'm really shocked. I wasn't too sure how they would turn out, but thanks, you guys, and I will catch you guys next time. Bye.
I know I can be safe with you. You want me now, I know you do. I know you're being patient and I love you for that. You show me how to dare to love. So tell me what you're thinking of. Cause I won't be afraid, not holding anything back. Don't know if I'm dreaming, I'm slipping away. I hear your sweet voice, then I see your face. I never knew you could love someone like me. You climbed my tower and you set me free. I never know felt like this before. I